I'm finally back in Florida, but I still have a few adventures from out west that I want to share with you, specifically this one. I want to show you the amazing fall foliage of western Colorado. Come on, let's go check it out. Fall, that amazing time period when Mother Nature gives us one final view of beautiful color before plunging us deep into the heart of winter. Let's do a little exploring and witness this magical season as it transforms the San Juan Mountains of western Colorado into an oasis of golden splendor. The sun is starting to rise, and with it comes some incredible golden shafts of light. This soft, beautiful light snakes its way through a faint mist that clings to a small grove of aspen trees. These white-trunked trees are what we are after. We just need to find a grove full of color. Let's head to an extremely popular area that is always overloaded with photographers eager to catch this early morning light as it soaks an entire mountain range and all of the surrounding foliage. This location is known as Dallas Divide, and in this shot, the sun is just starting to touch the mountain peaks. It rises to the left, and this is what this location looks like the moment first light illuminates the entire scene. It has been a brutally dry year in Colorado, and the lack of water is quite evident in these shots. There's no snow on the mountains, and while there's plenty of color in the various trees, shrubs, and plants, it isn't the marvelous color we're looking for. Let's see if we can catch the sun as it rises on a nearby lake. We are now just over 9,600 feet or 2,930 meters in elevation, and the massive mountain peaks to the east are still blocking most of the light. The temperature is 1 degree Celsius or 34 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a dry cold, but my sockless, sandal-covered feet make me wish I had packed my warm wool socks, but I'm not complaining because the view here is simply unbelievable. Let's step back and soak it in while we wait for the sun to climb over those mountain peaks. That's a little better. That mountain in the background is appropriately named Red Mountain, and it's red because it's loaded with iron ore. It's basically a giant rusty mountain, but we're still too close. Let's take a step back a little further and experience this scene in its entirety. This is one of those magical locations that makes you forget about everything. The high elevation, the freezing temperature, the crowd of photographers. None of it seems to exist as you stand here, but the sun is coming, and it's going to shed some light on an incredible amount of color, and we gotta be ready. The west side of the lake is just breathtaking. The aspen groves hold an amazing array of color, and the calm surface of the lake gives us some incredible reflections. Let's grab some shots while the light is still good. Shades of yellow, orange, and gold mingle with light hints of green. All of this amazing color is then reflected in the calm, still surface of the lake. Let's step back a little and capture more of this scene. The peaks of Red Mountain add some new color to the already amazing color palette, and the small clouds add some nice character to that blue sky. Let's see if we can get all of those red mountains in the shot. There we go. Now let's see what the scene looks like with a wide 20mm lens. That is a glorious display of color lit by early morning light. But let's move the clock forward just a bit as we head a little higher into the mountains in search of good light and amazing color. Whoa, now that is a mountain full of color. I've never seen anything quite like it, and I just had to capture it because it's unbelievable. But here's the neat thing about a massive mountain full of color like this one. Do you see that tiny little section of green in the upper left-hand corner? It really stands out against all of that brilliant gold color. So let's put on the Nikon 200-500 zoom lens and take a closer look. Wow, what an interesting shot. It's amazing how well this lens renders this far-off location with such clarity. Let's take a closer look at some other areas of this mountain using the same lens. Being able to sit in one location and not only marvel at this incredible scene, but also be able to pick it apart and photograph little sections makes for a practically unlimited supply of awesome photographs. If you are a Colorado native, this spectacle of color might not seem like that big of a deal, but let me tell you, there are people on this planet who will never see these amazing landscapes with their own eyes. I, for one, never grow tired of this unbelievable scene. Let's move up the mountain a little higher and see what we can find before the light gets too harsh and forces us deep into the aspen forest. The road up and through the mountains is just amazing. It's full of twists and turns like this one, and it takes you over 10,000 feet or 3,050 meters through the mountains. The twists, turns, and precarious heights don't seem to stop anyone from soaking in the breathtaking beauty of the surrounding landscapes. And our journey, it's going to take us back in time to the small ghost town of Ironton. Remnants of the old mining town are all that remain. This is one of several buildings in the area, and directly behind the ghost town is the Uncompahgre River. Uncompahgre has been loosely translated to mean dirty water. Look at that orange-colored water. It's all full of rich iron coming from Red Mountain. I'm not sure if anything lives in this water, but the area was loaded with tasty wild raspberries. A little further up the mountain and the aspen trees start to thin out, but there are still some old mining buildings well worth photographing. It's getting later in the day now, and the light's getting a little on the harsh side. It's time to go deeper into the aspens for some of my favorite type of photography. All of the trees that are providing us with this amazing amount of color are quaking aspen trees. And if the color isn't amazing enough, all of the trees you see in this grove are considered one living organism. Think about that for a second. Each tree trunk that you see here isn't one single tree. Every tree trunk you see is part of the same living organism that comes from the same massive tangled root system right below our feet. All of the dark spots on the trunks, those are scars from old branches that have broken off. Taking a walk like this through an aspen forest is amazing. At times, the aspen trees are so thick that they almost block out all of the light. And if you position yourself just right, you can use these trees to help soften or diffuse the harsh light like this. I love grabbing shots of the sun as it creates those wide beams of light through the trees. And if you position yourself just right, the sun coming through those golden aspen trees really creates an amazing glow. Even though the late day light is a little on the harsh side, it doesn't always mean that you should stop shooting. I used this opportunity to grab a couple of shots with a little human element in them to help you get a better perspective on the surrounding area. Yep, that's little old me standing in the road completely amazed by the landscape before me, and my son, he was nice enough to climb this large boulder so I could get this shot. Look how far and wide this area goes, and the amazing amount of color scattered throughout. As Bob Ross would say, layer after layer after layer of beautiful color. The fall colors aren't the only sights worth seeing in Colorado at this time of year. There are also a lot of animals out as well, like this Clark's nuthatch who's busy cracking open a pine cone. Down on the forest floor, we have this cute little squirrel who's also busy with a pine cone. And out on the edge of the forest, we have this beautiful male mule deer with some nice fall foliage behind him. This time of year is also the start of the elk rut season, and it isn't unusual to see a massive bull elk like this one, who was very busy rounding up his harem of female elk. Let's head back down the other side of the mountain towards one of my favorite towns in Colorado, Telluride. The view down the side of the mountain is just beautiful. We have those layers of aspen trees, those big open grassy meadows, and of course the mountains in the background. Our destination is right over here behind this ridge. Luckily, there's a nice dirt road that winds its way down the side of the mountain right into the town of Telluride, where we will step into a gondola for a ride up and over the mountain. Riding the gondola is an amazing experience. For one, it's free. 2, it's powered by solar energy. And 3, it takes you quietly up over the mountains. It almost feels like you're flying through the aspen trees, and it's a ride that I never get tired of. And look, there's the cute little town of Telluride now. Let's grab a quick shot from the top before heading off to our next destination. There we go. A nice vertical shot that shows the town way down below and the gondola car we used to get here. All right, let's head to another location for some afternoon light. The first location that catches my eye is this brilliant aspen grove alive with an amazing golden color. Those mountain peaks are quite literally the icing on the cake for this image. And a short stretch down the road finds me staring in wonder at this amazing view. Wow, that is an incredible amount of aspen trees that are still in the process of changing color. It looks like only about 40% of them are showing their fall colors. And for size reference, that is a road right there. This shot was taken with a 50mm lens. Let's shoot the same scene with a 20mm lens and see how much we can squeeze in. Wow. That is simply amazing. Again, here's the road for size reference, and it looks like the sun will be setting soon. It's time to head back to that same high mountain lake we were at this morning and see if we can catch a brilliant sunset. Back at the lake, and this time, the east side of the mountains have some amazing light. The wind has picked up a bit, but hopefully it will quiet down for the sunset. I grab a quick shot of the sun as it slowly sets behind the mountain range on the right. I really want to follow the path, but I don't want to miss the possible opportunity for a sunset at this location, so I patiently wait as the winds calm down, the clouds move in, and the sun drops behind the horizon. My wait is well rewarded with this amazing shot of a glorious sunset. There's the mountains in the background, the amazing fall colors of those beautiful aspen trees, the color in the sky, and the wind was nice enough to stop and provide me with an incredible reflection on the surface of the water. Like a little kid who just can't get enough, I grab one more shot as the last bit of color and light leaves the sky, and in this shot, I have everything I had in the prior shot with the addition of a rocky lake bottom. What a great way to end my amazing trip out west. That was just a tiny glimpse into the amazing fall colors of Western Colorado. This area has a practically unlimited amount of photo opportunities. What did you think of it? Was there a favorite location or a favorite scene that I showed you? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, go ahead and click that thumbs up and share this video. That's really helpful to me. If you want to come with me and capture your own amazing images of the beautiful fall foliage in Western Colorado, I've just announced my fall foliage workshop in Western Colorado for 2019. Check my website for details, and as always, thanks for watching.